Yeesh. I kind of messed it up. But we're going to try to fix it. Welcome back to another episode of Twisted Wrench Garage, guys. As you guys can see, we're back working on this headliner. It didn't stick. If you guys saw the post I put on YouTube about it, it really didn't stick very well. It ended up coming back down after I put it in that next day, and it actually really got damaged whenever I was pulling the carpet back off of it. Even though it wasn't really sticking, it stuck and pulled a lot of material off with it. So that material isn't usable. I'm going to get some more of it, but I'll have to worry about that later. My first concern is going to be to try to get this thing fixed, because as you guys can tell, I mean, this thing got tore up. It tore chunks of it up with the carpet when I was trying to pull it all apart. I even left it in the sun, let it get really hot, bake all day long. One of the 100 degree day weathers. It still didn't make a difference. So with as much damage as I've got here, let me show it to you, and I'll show you what we're gonna do to try to resolve it. Yeah, I really did a number on this thing. Again, I'm not no professional. I'm just trying to do what I can. I tried to find a replacement, which obviously you can get a new one through LMC, but I think they're like $140 or something like that for a solid color one. And I think they're ABS plastic, I think, is what they're made out of. And then they also have one with speakers in the corners as well. And that one's like $200 and something. So what I'm going to do instead is attempt to try to not make this worse. Because I tried finding one around, and I haven't seen any salvage yards that has any. So we're gonna fiberglass this thing. I went and picked up some fiberglass resin over at the hardware store, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna mix some up. I'm just gonna go ahead and coat this entire thing with fiberglass resin. That way we can get this whole thing to be solid, one piece, and that way it's not so floppy. And then I can start working on making the repairs that I need in these areas, because like in this area here, it ripped up a big chunk and it's really thin. It broke this section here. The area for the dome light cover, that's messed up, and each corner was messed up as well. So I mean, it's definitely got some damage on it. So we're gonna see what we can do. I picked up some fiberglass mat that we can cut up and use as some pieces to repair this thing. But before I do any of that, I want to get some resin mixed up, and I want to coat this entire thing and let it sit and cure. So let's get some resin mixed up. So I went up to the hardware store, and like I said, I got that fiberglass cloth. It's supposed to be like 8 square foot, so it's 46 and a half inches by 25 inches. I picked up some of these little containers here so I can mix up the resin in, and then some brushes as well as the resin. And it comes with a little thing of hardener that you use to mix in. Don't ever mix it in within this container. It'll ruin it and make the whole thing harden. Mix up small batches at a time. Don't want to overdo it. I think I'm probably gonna do like quarter things of this at a time. But always follow the instructions, then you'll get the best results. So we're gonna mix up some of this here. That's probably good for now. And then it says with every quarter can ratio, use 1/4 tube of hardener. So, oh, that's not even open yet. So let me get that open here. Get this mixed in. All right, we got it open. So now I'm just gonna you don't want to use too much hardener, because if you use too much, it'll harden up too fast on you. So I'm gonna call that good. I'm gonna use one of my paint sticks here to mix it up. And And once the hardener is in it, starts to set up pretty quickly. Probably 20 minutes setup time. I just want to get this part that ripped off lined up best I can. And I'll probably have to put a piece on it to do a repair for it. And you always want to make sure you're wearing gloves when you're doing this too. So I'm gonna need to grab a pair of gloves. So let me grab a pair of them. And then we can start getting this stuff laid down. Try not to waste a bunch of time. All right, so we're just gonna dip our brush. We're just gonna pat this on, let it soak up. And this is what fiberglassing is. We'll have to add more when we go to do the actual matte material repair. Really hoping this is able to get repaired, because I tried finding it. I really did. I tried finding another one. That's why I didn't get a video out last week, because I'd rather try to get a better one and do it right that time than to, you know, have to be doing this right here. Because this wasn't my intention to do. Didn't really intend to want to try to have to fix this one, but you do what you got to do, you know, when you don't have the stuff you need to get it done, you make it happen. Right now I'm just trying to go around the outside edges of this big giant piece that got ripped off. I'm just trying to glue it down, so whenever I'm brushing this stuff on, it doesn't move it. And this stuff will soak in. It's going to take probably a good amount. Yeah. I think this might actually be okay. We'll make it work, I think. At least that's my goal, my hope. Because once this gets fiberglassed, then we can recover it, and it should be good to go. Shouldn't have any more issues with it drooping down. Because I think what we were encountering was obviously a mixture of the glue, because that Gorilla Glue is not made for headliner use, which it says it clearly on the can, and I didn't listen. But I mean, that's the game you play sometimes. The game that you play to take, you know, to try to go a little cheaper on something. But sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't get away with it. It's just kind of the part of it. So I'm gonna have to make some more of this, because we've already used it all. It's just this little section soaked up all of that. So I'm gonna make up some more. I'll get you guys on a time lapse, and we'll get this knocked out. We're back on another day working on this headliner here. Show you the progress that we've made so far. I went ahead and I've got that one coat done to it so far. I wasn't able to get the entire thing coated. I actually had to go get some more resin. But because of the cost, I wanted to take a few days and kind of think about what I was going to do here, because the the resin, you know, like I said before, is, you know, it's like $30 a can for 1 quart, and I've already used 1 quart on this, and I haven't even done the repairs on it, and I only got 3/4 of the way through it. So I went ahead and grabbed another can of that stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more light coat around the outside stuff that I didn't get. I'm gonna let that cure, and then I'm gonna start grabbing my material. I'm gonna start cutting some chunks up, and I'm gonna start making some patches for some of this stuff. Let me show you what I'm working with. It's not the prettiest, but we're gonna make it work, okay? I know it's not the prettiest. You can see, you can definitely tell it's not smooth at all. There's a lot of areas like this here that's gonna end up showing through. I've got a fix for that. I think I'm gonna use some fiberglass filler just to kind of smoothen these areas out some. That way they're not so prominent when I put the material down. But the biggest thing I think is going to be getting these corners repaired, as well as that back there for the dome light. As you guys saw in that video, in the time lapse, this chunk that was ripped off, I was able to get it glued down, but I had to fool with it some. I had to get it lined up again. I actually got some toothpicks in here. It's kind of holding it in line, kind of getting it to where it's, you know, where it needs to be. I did staple this paint stick to this, so that will give me something to lay my fiberglass on and give it some more strength, because this actually needs to go inside here a little bit, so I'll need to fiberglass that too. But I mean, it is way better than it was, so we're gonna get the rest of this taken care of. That way we can get this covered and get it put in the truck, because I am not gonna lie, I am done and fed up with this darn headliner. I just wanted it to be done and over with and go right the first time, but sometimes that's not the what you get. Sometimes you got to work a little harder, and you know, when it comes to this headliner, it's just gonna be what it is. All right, we got another batch of resin mixed up. This time we just go through and start coating the rest of this thing. Get her all patched up. No gloves this time. I just kind of got right into it. This definitely stiffens it up, makes a big difference. I've already got all the materials that I need, as long as this is going to be enough resin, hopefully. But yeah, when it came to the headliner, guys, it's like I took a couple days to think about what I was going to do with it, and I did this first coat of resin, and I was like, man, I ran out of resin already. I was like, is it really going to be worth me putting even more resin into it, more money into it to try to get it fixed? Because I did do another look online to see how much those headliners are through LMC. Those things they aren't $140 for this one, for the one that's this size. It's $140 for the one that's like the one in my red truck. And that one is, you know, to be made. I made that one. It's just a flat piece. So, yeah. This one here is like $264, $270, I think. The one with the speakers in it is closer to $360 or something like that. I'll have to double check that one, but there was no way I was getting that one, so didn't even really look at it. But that would be cool though, to have speakers up in your headliner. It's cool that they have that as an option. But that's just not an option for us, because we ain't got that kind of money. We just a poor guy trying to do everything on a budget. And sometimes we get our budget kind of kicked in the butt because it didn't go the way we wanted it to. Almost done with the rest of the outside. Do need to get right there by that dome light cover though. Finish touching this right here up. Alright, just need to get this. Then we can let this dry. Then we can start making the repairs we need. Alright, I'm going to go make some more for this corner and then the rest of this. So let me get that taken care of. It's been a couple hours out here. It's gotten plenty of time to set up and cure enough for me to go ahead and proceed. Wow, that's still a little tacky right there, actually. I might actually need to give it a little more time, but I think we'll be all right. Got resin on my hand. But what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna cut up some squares for these corners and cut up some strips so we can start getting these repairs where we need them. And we'll get this all taken care of so this thing can get set up and cured overnight and we can get it recovered tomorrow. Alright, so I've been cutting out some scraps, kind of getting them where I want to get them placed for strength, where I know that it was thinner, and where I want to put some fixes. So get that set there. We got one going over our dome light cover, and it's going to wrap over a little bit, give us some more strength there. Let's see. I think I may cut this one in half. We'll use this as 2 pieces here. That's supposed to go past that a little bit. Not sure we need to really worry about that too much, because there's a spot there it mounts, spot there it mounts. That. Little high spot right there. Let's see. Need a piece here, so maybe we'll put this piece over here. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Put this piece here. It's not going to be the prettiest once this is all done, but once we cover it, it'll look a lot better. Got that kind of cut where I want it to be. This will end up having to get trimmed over here, but that should give us something to put on there for a patch. Got a big chunk over here because this area right over here is kind of thin, so kind of doubling it up a little bit. Got a few little chunks over here of leftover pieces. Oh, I forgot I need to put a piece here too, and inside here. So yeah, that'll work good there. Put that on there. Put that there. You can just use scissors to cut it. It's really easy to cut. Got another slab here. All right. Cut a strip off here. And we don't use those pieces. We'll use that to go there. Give that a little more strength. Use this right here. As you can tell, I'm just kind of setting it into places where I want it to be. And put another piece. Cut this down. That one right there. And this one doesn't really need it, but I'll put one here just for a little extra strength. I think let's double check here. Let's make sure if we need any more, I can put it on there. Maybe I put a piece there. Better keep in mind I don't have a whole lot of material or a whole lot of resin still. So I'm gonna put another piece over here. This corner over here is probably the piece that got the most damaged, other than this yeah, probably need to put a decent sized piece on there. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we'll do. All right, so I think that's right there is going to be good for our repairs. Just need to mix up some resin. I think the rest of that over there will be fine. I'm too concerned about that. So let's get some resin mixed up and let's get this all patched up. So I've let it cure up 2 hours or so. I wanted to come back out here and finish this up. The repairs are actually coming out pretty good the way I want them to. What I want to do now, because I've got it good and solid on the inside, on the corners where I made the repairs, I'm actually going to come on this side as well, and I'm going to make some patches for these areas as well, just to strengthen these areas up some more. That way I know that I'm not going to have any problems in the future. So I'm just going to cut up some pieces to patch in, go over some of these cracks where it broke previously, and we'll just patch it. Alright, we'll just cut that square out. That one will end up going right there. Actually move it down just a hair. And where I stapled it, I've got the staples kind of poking it and holding it right there where I want it to be. So that'll kind of help out. That one will end up going right there. And we'll lay that on there. Give that another layer to give it some strength. We just need to hit those corners over here. I think that'll work just fine. So let me clean up this mess. Let me get some resin mixed and we'll get these patches put on. Alright, same as before, we're just gonna dab our brush. Keep in mind, I'm cleaning this brush after every use with acetone, just to make sure that I get all the residue out and I can reuse it. Just dabbing it on here. Get these patches put on so it can cure. See, I'm just kind of mashing it in, because you want to get it down deep inside those pores of the fiberglass. And you see, I didn't mix up very much. Try to start gluing this around here. Getting somewhere. Now this part right here that I'm messing with isn't going to be perfect, so I'm curious how it's going to fit in the truck. I'll make it work, but it's not perfect by any means. I am running a little low on this stuff, so that's another reason why I kept it on the light side on this. If I need to mix more, I'll mix more, but if I can get away with using less, I'm going to. Getting her on there. And I'm probably going to have to flip this back over after I get this stuff tacked on. Or at least something. I gotta figure out something because it's bowing it a little bit. Cool. There's a piece on that part where I did the repair on the dome light cover. I still got a piece to put on that too. But I'm gonna have to mix some more of this. I just ran out. So gonna mix some more. I'm just gonna go ahead and lay it down a little bit here on this piece of wood stick. That'll actually help me glue it to it while I'm putting it on. This is just to help give me some more strength. Calm down now. I'm dripping this all over, but it's fine. It's my garage. Yeah, I see it's bowing right here. Dang it. I don't know if I can flip it over without messing these up. I don't want it to fall down on it either. Maybe I have to put it this way. Okay, maybe that'll work. Pair our pieces up here. So they're one. I think that pretty well covers the repairs. Just gotta let it dry now. And then we can trim up what we need to trim up for certain pieces and cover it. Cool, cool. So I'm gonna go clean my brush. I'm gonna throw this aside just in case I need to mix up just a little bit extra. I don't think I will. I'm gonna let this cure. We got some stuff to do tonight, hang out with some friends. So I'm gonna let this cure overnight, and we'll come out here tomorrow morning and we'll take a look at her. I know I need to address some of these high points here. That way they don't show through on the material as much. And I'll take care of that. It won't be a big deal. But I mean, if you have to, you can, you know, if you have to. So I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow. We're back again on another day of working on this headliner for Project Black Pearl. Came out pretty good. I'm not like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. But I mean, it's gonna work. I mean, it'll do its job. You know, it's all fully cured. The repairs came out pretty good. I still need to mark the spots for the visors for where those go. I need to cut out a couple spots where I covered up for where it mounts on the truck, where there's like a V cutout for where it sets down onto where the screw that holds the trim piece in. But there is one more thing I wanted to do before we cover this thing up. Because I did so much damage to it whenever I pulled the carpet off, if I were to put material on this right now, you would see quite a bit of stuff on it, or through that material. You'd be able to see it on it and push through. And what I'm talking about is some of this right here. So this is really deep. When I go to spray my adhesive and put my material on, this is actually going to go down inside, and you will actually see that inside. So what I'm going to do, and again, you don't have to do what I'm doing here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this fiberglass Bondo filler, and I'm going to go over some of these high spots with this. That way I can just kind of smoothen them out and make them not so noticeable. Because I mean, if it's uneven, I'm not that concerned about it. But if I see those big sharp changes like that, that's where I want to, you know, make the change and, you know, smoothing it out a little bit. So like there, that area I showed you there, there's a couple little spots right here that I probably will hit. Yeah, but I mean, there's a couple little spots I'm gonna go over just to make sure that I get it nice and smooth for whenever we go to put our material on, and we're not looking at a bunch of crap underneath it. So let me get you guys set up. Let me get some of this Bondo mixed up, and we'll start getting this applied. I'm just mixing up our filler here, getting it to a uniform color. I put a decent amount on here, then I just put a little strip of that hardener on. You always want to fold it. You don't want to stir it around. You want to fold it within itself so you get it nice and mixed. So that's probably good there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a good amount here. I'm actually going to force it down inside that area, help smoothing it out some. And to be perfect. It just needs to be sort of smoothened out better, you know what I mean? Put some over here. That is pretty deep. Now, if you're doing like body work, you would not put it this deep. I might even need to mix some more up. Yeah, I think I might mix a little more up for this area right here. Might throw a little coat right here. Can you tell I'm just kind of rolling with the punches here? Just kind of doing what I can with what I have. So, yeah, I'm gonna make up some more. I'll go over these again, over some of these other areas, and I think we'll be ready to let this sit and cure and get ready to get covered. All right, you can see I just got a little bit here. Just gonna put a little line on it, and that'll be good. Like I said, when you're mixing it, you want to fold it on itself, like so. You'll get a nice, good mixture. Cool. So, got all this taken care of where I need to. Well, I need to let this cure, and I think the next step for us is actually to get it partially hung up in the truck, so we can actually mark our locations for our visor holes here. And I need to double check back there on the back where those two are. I believe they're right here. Should be a V right here and a V right here. But I just want to verify it in there. I'll mark it with a marker, and I'll cut it out where I need to. I can see that there's still low spots in here, right in here, and right in here. But it's not going to be like it was. It should be relatively smooth-ish when I put my material on. So I think from here we just got to let it sit. So I'll see you guys whenever we get back to this here. Well, we're back over here on this headliner. While we were waiting on it to cure, I went ahead and took Black Pearl up to the tire shop, got all the wheels and tires balanced on it, as well as we went in and got the tire on that brown truck over there swapped out with another one I had. It kept going flat on us, and we've got to keep moving that truck back and forth until my boy starts driving that on the regular basis. But we're getting really close to being ready to cover this. The next step we need to do now is we need to actually get it up in the truck. We're just going to hold it up in its place, and I'm going to mark with a marker where the visors go and where I need to make any other little cuts for any of the screws where they, sink down into. So let's get in there and let's get that stuff marked up. All right, so I have marked where I needed to cut out some of this. I've made a rough hole here for the visors on both sides. Trimmed out this section here, and then I got it sitting out here, and then would you look at that, another break. I just cannot win with this thing. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another strip here. I'm going to make another repair, I guess. We'll have to give it some more time to dry again. So we'll get that taken care of, and we'll see you guys here soon. Alright guys, we're back again. It's Sunday today. I ended up having to call it quits early yesterday. We ended up hanging out with some friends again. And I needed to take a break from this thing because I was fighting with it for a while, doing the test fitting in and out. Probably put it in and took it out probably 8, 9 different times, and it ended up cracking again. So I had to make that other repair. So, but I do have the material cut out to length here that I'm going to use. I kind of got it set up in here. We're going to get this glued in so we can get this installed. And that way I can get you guys a video out. Just kind of got it loosely laid in here. I got it cut to length for everything that I'm going to need. And I'm going to do this a half at a time. So we're going to put this over here. That way I can spray this side with glue as well as the material. And I'm going to show you what we're going to use to spray this down. And for the adhesive we're going to use is going to be this Gorilla Glue. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I wanted to show you guys that I was taking a chance on this stuff using it to begin with, because it says right here, not recommended for use on vinyl materials, automotive headliners. So I mean, I knew it wasn't meant for headliners, but I was using it anyways. I was just taking that chance because it was $12 when I should have went to AutoZone, and apparently they have this Permatex headliner adhesive and it's $18. The 3M stuff at O'Reilly's is like 25 something dollars. So I mean, this is gonna do the job hopefully. So we're gonna use this. It says on the instructions 5 to 6 inches away. Let me turn you guys a little bit here. There we go. It says 5 to 6 inches away. Shake it real well. And you want to do 2 to 3 passes going opposite directions. So you'll go this way, then this way, and then I'm going to do a cross pattern as well. And we're getting, if you want to get a good bond, you also spray the material as well. And when I was test fitting this up, it wasn't perfect. The curve where the dome light is, I didn't get the curve on that exactly right, so it's got to get forced in there just a little bit, but I mean, I'm going to make it work. I mean, like I said, a new one's like $270. I've got 170 something into this so far. Another $100 I could have probably bought a new one, but I want to show you guys how to do fiberglass. You guys have yours. You know, I would definitely recommend fiberglassing it. Don't do what I did that first time. Just don't peel layers off of it. Just fiberglass it so it'll be solid, one piece. And you don't have to fight like I did. Because it would have came out a lot better if I had just fiberglassed it originally and then put my material on with headliner spray. So we're gonna 5 to 6 inches away. We're gonna go both directions. Stuff's very stringy. Now I'm gonna turn and go this way too. It says 2 to 3. I think I'm just gonna do the 2. That's pretty good coverage. So now I'm gonna actually do the material itself too. All right. So I'm gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes, no more than that, and then I'll lay this over on it, make sure it goes down in its areas nicely. And then once I've got that done, then I'll do this other side. We have cured enough for me to say that's good enough. So let's drape this over this side. I want to get it down inside those areas. Ah, it's got my shirt. Some sticky stuff, that's for sure. Yeah, it's actually sticking really well. Alright, that's half of it done. A little high spot there, and those were those low spots where I put that stuff, but it's not near as dramatic as it was. So now we just need to flip it over and do the other side. Pull pull it back to where it's not glued. And then we're just gonna repeat that process. Yeah. All right, it's tacky enough. So, get in front of you guys here for a second. Grab these corners. Oh, come on now. Don't be mean to me now. Oh, don't light area. Up there. Sorry, I kicked you. All right, I think I'm just gonna give this some time to cure up a little bit. Then I'll come out and trim up what I don't need. Then we can start working on getting it put in there. Fold this over a little bit and I'll trim it on this back side. Almost didn't get enough on this front edge. Got real close. Just wrapping it around the edge just a little bit, just to try to give myself a little bit of a nicer look. I'm sure you heard that cracky. It's alright. This thing ain't gonna be perfect. I have come to that realization about a week ago. But hopefully I can make it good enough to work. So I think I'm gonna give this some time to dry. Then I'll come back out and I'll trim this up some. Just right around this edge, because all this ends up getting covered by the trim anyways. So, I'll see you guys here in a bit. We're back out here again. We let this dry fully for 24 hours. That's what the can says on it. I went ahead and trimmed all the way around the outside. Got the little notches made for where the screws will go, the visors, as well as the dome light cover. So, I mean, all we got to do now is just put it in the truck, and I think we can finally call this job done. Like I said, it's not going to be a perfect fit, but it should be good enough. I'm gonna need our trim. I've already got our screws and a Phillips head, so we just need to grab the headliner and we can start putting this in. All right, put this in here. So we got to get it over all this stuff. I found that the trick is if you get it up inside these back pieces first. There we go. All right. So the first piece of trim I'm going to put on is going to be one of these side pieces. So let me grab the one that goes here. That one is over there. This one goes over here. So put this piece on first. And this will help hold it for me. Again, sorry I didn't get a video out last week, but I'm trying to come up with a plan on this and keeping it within budget. Because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to just like go out and buy a brand new one and just install it. Because I mean, yeah, anybody can do that, and I could have done that, but you know, rather than just buy a new one and put it in and go, hey, here, I bought a new one, put it in my truck. Thanks for watching, guys. This is going to be more of a hey, you can't find one, you know, anywhere? How can we get you back up and going? And this kind of shows you what you can do. And the thing about, oh crap, too far. The thing about, you know, failing, you know, not getting it right that first time, you know, that's just part of it. You learn from your failures. So like next time, whenever if I can find another one of these, next time I know that I should just pull the fabric and just go ahead and fiberglass it, because they're made of like a layered fiberglass, and peeling them isn't the best idea. So now we're gonna need 3 more screws. We'll put this other side piece on over here to hold this side on for us so we're not drooping so much. I could open that up. All right. See if I can not blind myself here. Get this in the right spot. And that one goes here. Like I said, guys, this isn't going to be a perfect fit, because, you know, it was pretty damaged. The curve where it goes to the dome light, that is the area that's really my main concern, because I wasn't able to get the curve exactly right, you know. So finding another one might be on the agenda for the future. All right. That's getting us somewhere. Can't really see the hole on that one. Looks like I might have to. Yeah, there we go. All right. It's already better. And right here in this area, this is what I'm talking about. This is where it wasn't perfect whenever I fixed it. So I'm gonna have to force this up in here like so to get my piece of trim in, and I'm just hoping that everything will work out fine. I'm sure it'll be okay. If not, what other choice do I have, right? I could buy a new one, but that's, like I said, that's $300. Don't really want to pay that. So this front area, it's the area that I knew was going to be a problem. Okay, so we need to move that way. So okay. See if I can get this one going. Kind of help me get the other ones going. Maybe this one will be easier. And it's more towards the center. There we go. Alright. I'm not going to tighten that one all the way just yet. Yeah, see, I didn't get these in the right spots perfectly. That one went in okay. Don't tighten it too tight. It's got a little crack right there. Can I get one of these over here? some of these I might have to create new holes for inside the headliner. Yeah. So I'm gonna go grab my electric, because these are self-tappers. The way they put these in from the factory is they just self-tap them right into the roof. So let me go grab that. Let me get these last screws in here. Also need to get that dome light put in. And with these last few screws here on this visor, we're all done. Now this part right here isn't perfect, but it'll work. Man, I am happy that I was able to make that work. Again, it's not perfect, but it's better than it was. And it should be good from keeping it drooping with that new actual headliner adhesive. But yeah, that looks good. I like that. Really goes together well. Be even cooler if I could probably maybe cover the seat with that material maybe at one point in time. That'd be cool. But I do appreciate you guys tuning into the episode. Again, I'm sorry I didn't get an episode out last week. I do want to thank all the new members that have joined the Twisted Crew. Dodge 440, there's a guy named Duh. Appreciate you guys joining the Twisted Crew and being a sponsor of the channel. That means a lot to me, guys. It means that, you know, you guys are the sponsors. You know, I'm actually working on some ideas for maybe a live stream that I could start up, and kind of run that idea by you guys through, you know, as we go. I've also got a Discord channel set up, which I'm also going to be trying to share with my members of the Twisted Crew. It's going to have all of my video links. It's going to have all of the diagrams that I have available for wiring, vacuum lines, any kind of diagram that has to do with these trucks or old vehicles, I'm going to have on there. But again, I do appreciate you guys tuning into the episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you guys want, don't forget to hit that join button, be part of the Twisted Crew for just 99 cents a month. You could be the sponsor of the channel. So, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Have a good one.